Hello friends, Valerie Sjodin here, and I'd like to share with you about choosing a word of the year. I have done this for about 10 years or more. Here's some of my journals for the year, and you don't have to have a journal to have a word of the year, that's for sure, but since I'm a journaler, I do, and it helps me out. But here's some of my process is, first of all, I look over the past year. For me, it's easy to look in my journal because I've kept track of some of the highlights and some of the lowlights of my year. And so I review it. I don't have to read each page, but while looking it over, I ask myself a few questions. Okay, what were the highlights of the year? What were the lowlights, low points? And what did I learn? And what do I want to continue to grow in? So lots of times the themes from one year to the next kind of run into each other. And what do I need to let go of, release, or change in order to be my best self and live out my word for the year? So I write those down in my journal, and then I look ahead to the next year, which is, this is November when this is being filmed, so this is probably the time that I really focus on this. What do I want? Sometimes I don't know, but if I know what I desire, then I write those things down. What characteristic would enhance my life and myself and bring me closer to being the best self that I can be? Sometimes those characteristics become a word. And how would I like to have grown by the end of next year? So I imagine what I want to be like next year at this time. What do I want to learn? And you could just say, well, what do I want to focus on? Another thing that's important to me is to include God in my process. My relationship with the Holy Trinity, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit is really important to me. So I take time to do listening prayer, and it's quiet, uninterrupted time, and I ask God to speak to me, and I trust that He wants to and that He does. And usually I have a Bible close by and all that, but I am asking Him to speak to my heart. So I imagine He's there right with me, Jesus sitting with me. And I have my journal again, and anything that comes to mind, I write down. Now, this is not a time to hold back or to second guess or to edit my thoughts or words, because it's just in my personal journal. So I do that. And then once I do that, I read over what I wrote and ask and look for, are there themes or repeated words or even repeated feelings that come back or thoughts? And from that, I make a list of potential words for the year. So I'm, in a sense, brainstorming with the Lord in my journal. How I know a word may be the word is if ideas start to come, or if I have a strong feeling, even if it's a negative feeling. I've had that with my word aim, was my word for 1 year, and I didn't like the word at first, but because I had a strong reaction to it, I had to ask why. So if I have a strong reaction, or if I get inspired and I have ideas, and of course if some things get sparked, then I'll write those down too. So if none of the words, when you've gone through this process, resonate with you, don't worry. It will come. Keep your eyes and ears open. Look at it as a treasure hunt, that it can be revealed, your treasure word of the year, at any moment. And it will come. You give it time. So I just want to say, I bless you in your process of finding a word and living a word for the following year.